Hello and welcome to Off The Crossbar. So, the breaking news in the last few hours is Sheffield United have decided to sack manager Chris Wilder. With the Blades at the bottom of the table, it is a little surprise that they have waited either this long to do so or have actually decided to do so with 10 games left of the season. The Blades were set to travel to Leicester City on Sunday in a obviously must-win game. However, Chris Wilder's side are pretty much resigned to going back down to the Championship for this season after winning only 4 games all season, and Wilder made no surprise that he was expecting his side to go down. It's a strange one, like I said, as to why they've done it now with 10 games left. Why haven't they done it earlier if they wanted a bit of hope to stay up in the Premier League? Or why didn't they just wait until the end of the season because they knew they were going to go down? So there's no quite clear reasoning as to why they've decided to do it now. Current under-23 manager Paul Heckingbottom is set to take charge for the weekend's game, and according to Sky Bet, him and former Celtic boss Neil Lennon are said to be the front runners for the job, so it will be very interesting watch to see what happens there. So in the time in the Premier League, they obviously finished in 9th place in their first season, after many people think they massively overperformed and no one was really expecting that from them. Obviously this season, their second season, hasn't gone to plan and they are at the foot of the table. It's not like they didn't spend money. They obviously bought in Aaron Ramsdale this season as a permanent signing, and obviously their big transfer being Ryan Brewster from Liverpool. But it hasn't quite worked out for them this season, so it'll be interesting going forward to see how many of their big players, aka Sander Berge, Ryan Brewster, Ramsdale, stay at the club in the Championship next season, and how many move on to other things. Wilder can have his head held high because he obviously managed to get Sheffield United into the Premier League in the first place. After 4 seasons before when he first joined, they were in League One, and then he's obviously got them up the divisions over the time, which is obviously a phenomenal feat. The Blades had spent 12 years away from Premier League football, and you can't complain with what he's done. He stuck to his roots, and everything he said he was going to do and how he performed for them, it was brilliant. And for me, I don't know, I think the timing's what's more shocking than the actual sacking itself. I think many people were expecting it, but I think some were probably expecting it earlier on in the season when they just went up for so long without winning, but then they picked up a few results here and there at the turn of the year, and you're like, okay, maybe there is that bit of gusto and fight in them that they could maybe do like one of the greatest escapes in Premier League history. But then obviously they've gone back to losing ways now, and yeah, I think, is there really, what is their new manager going to be able to do in these 10 games left of this season before they do eventually get relegated from the Premier League back to the Championship? And you never know, maybe Heckingbottom can come in and give them this burst of energy and they can go on an unbeaten run or a really good run and possibly stay up, but I think that's unlikely, and I think many have decided to them to be going down to the Championship. So it'll be interesting to see if Heckingbottom does get the job full time for next season, or Neil Lennon, what style of play they're wanting to do, and if they can get an instantaneous bounce back into the Premier League for the following season. So yeah, that's definitely something to watch out for in the future. But I think for now, this season, I think, yeah, they're pretty much resided to go into the Championship. And do I think it'll be long before Wilder's back in a job? Not really. I think with how football works nowadays, most managers within a few months will be back in the job. He's definitely a good enough manager to be back managing a mid-table Premier League side or a high Championship side. So it wouldn't be surprised me if sometime next season you see Chris Wilder back into the job and managing elsewhere in football. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you soon again on the Off The Crossbar channel.